everybody, my name is AngelBiter. Welcome back to another Minecraft video on the MetalCraft server. As you can see, there is this really big flower forest behind me. It's kind of pretty, actually. And that is the reason we are here. I noticed in my last video, the details video, that I really didn't have a whole lot of blue flowers in my little flower farm over by my base. So I decided to go look for a flower forest. I was thinking we could make like a dye shop at spawn, and I noticed when I got to this place and was kind of exploring around that there is a swamp right here. I just fell off. There is also a swamp right next to this flower forest. I was like, well, hey, I can actually make two farms to get all of the pretty colors over here plus a whole bunch of blue over here. And then I noticed there's a plains right here. So I can get literally every single flower in the game: swamp, flower forest, plains. With the exception of the two high flowers, obviously. The sunflowers, the peonies, the roses, and whatever the other one is. Lilacs. But I'm going to real quickly jump into a creative world and see what I can, with this seed, obviously. And I'm going to see what the representation of flowers in the flower forest is. For those of you who don't know, swamps will only grow blue orchids. They'll naturally spawn with some other stuff, like right there, obviously. But if I was to go down there and bone meal the grass, the only thing I would get is blue lilacs. Over here, that's not the case. In the plains, you will get several different types of flowers, and you will get the several different types of flowers on the same block. If I was to... Do I have any bone meal? I actually... Real quickly... Oops, I hear a zombie. He must be under the ground. I've got some bone meal. We can real quickly point this out, because this is real useful information to have if you decide to make a flower forest. Alright, like right here, here's a dandelion. Oh, there was a poppy right there. So it will grow several different types of flowers on the same block. That is not the case in flower farms, or in flower forests. In a flower forest, whatever is grown by bone meal is going to be the same every single time you grow it on that block. So we can find what the disbursement of the flowers are and build our farm around that to get as many of the different colors as we can. Let me go into a creative world, and I will bring you guys back and show you. Alright guys, we are on a single player creative copy of the MetalCraft server seed, and I spent a little bit of time to figure out the borders, obviously, of this little three-part biome and how we're going to get this farm up and running. I was originally thinking we'd just do one farm that encompasses all three biomes, but that's not going to work for the flower farm, or for the flower forest. That's just going to be a bunch of poppies, which is not ideal. So I'm thinking, let's turn this into a 3 different farm kind of mini village type thing. Obviously this is the swamp biome, and you get nothing but blue orchids, and over here, that border is the plains biome. And then the flower forest is really kind of neat looking. We've got poppies, alliums, and then azure bluets, and then a whole bunch of tulips, and then some cornflowers over here. So we don't need to get the cornflowers in the farm because we've got the blue orchids over there. But I realized that if I was to build a flying machine starting right here and going that way, that's a cool picture. Hang on, I got a screenshot of that. Alright, cool. We are going to make this the direction of travel for our flying machine, and we're going to make this, because every single flower in the flower forest is visible right there in that picture. Every single one. And in this picture, every single flower in the game, except for the 2 high ones like the peonies and the lilacs and whatnot, every single flower in the game is visible in this picture. So what I'm thinking, we can put like a portal, an end portal right here, and it will come into maybe like a kind of rustic home style house type build over here that houses a flower farm in the plains, we'll have a kind of, I guess, kind of matching the build over here with vines and cauldrons, and maybe we could trap a witch in there to do nothing but blue orchids over here in this house. And I was thinking maybe like a barn or something, a big barn that we can have to house a flying machine. I don't know. I'm just spitballing ideas here, but I really like that idea of the barn. Ideally, if we were going to come in from a portal this direction, then the barn would be going left and right like that. But it's going to miss out on a bunch of colors, I think, if we do that. Like, I don't think we'll hit any alliums, except for way down there, which we're not going to do. I'm thinking if we can put a barn starting right here, going maybe 20 blocks or so this way, and get every single flower in the flower forest in one swipe of a flying machine, that would be amazing. So, I think that's a good rough idea for a flower forest farm thing. Or not flower forest, but a flower farm. And I think that this is going to be an awesome thing to get started on a dye shop at spawn. So I am going to jump back on the MetalCraft server and try and, well, flatten out the area for starters, because it's a bit hilly. It's also kind of dark under there. But we're going to flatten this area out real good. And I'll set up a portal and get that linked to the portal network. And, yeah, we'll go from there. So I will see you guys back on the server. Well, that sounds ominous, doesn't it? Oh, shit! I heard the crossbow get pulled back, and I was like, how could this guy be shooting at me? They're falling on top of me. Alright, let's get rid of these guys. Alright. I just realized I have a bad omen. Dang it. Alright, I gotta find a cow and get me some milk before I leave. There we go. No, that's a horse. Alright, I'll get that sorted. Anyway, back to the project at hand. I went ahead and built another portal, but unfortunately it linked to somebody else's portal literally like 500 blocks that way. I came out at like -4,000. So I'm going to have to get that sorted at some point. But as you can see, that big old hill is gone right there. And these are the locations of the builds. This is going to be the plains biome, house farm thingy. Oh, cow. Let's go quickly drop that. Thank you. All right. So this is going to be the plains area house farm thingy. Over there is going to be the swamp one. And these are the corners of the barn. There's going to be the top left corner, and the bottom right corner is right there. So I'm thinking if we come out of the portal right here, we might move that swampy one over a little bit and get it a little bit more visible. So as we come out of the portal, there will be like a path or a road or something that will lead, maybe follow this little river a little bit to go into the front of the barn here and like right into a fenced in yard or something. I don't know. A few ideas that I'm toying around with. Why are those 2 blocks of leaves not dying? They've been up there for like half an hour. Okay. Very weird. But anyway, we've got this done. Well, we've got the area roughed out. And I may go ahead and play with the elevation a little bit more. I'll leave the swamp one up a couple blocks like that. Maybe I'll just flatten the area right. Well, I don't know. I don't know. If I move it further over here, I might have to fill in some of this. But we don't need a really big one here. Maybe just like 1 dispenser worth for blue orchids. And maybe we'll do like a 2 dispenser one. But, yeah. Oh, and I'm going to have to go get me a whole bunch of bone meal, too. I didn't even think of that. But we'll get that sorted also. So I'm going to maybe I think I'm going to go build the buildings that I want to do. I'm going to go rough them out in a creative world, and then I'm going to come and do them on a replay mod so that I'm not building as I go and trying to just make it up as I go. I'm going to try and make this into a professional video. You're going to do a replay mod of me building something, and it should be a lot of fun. So I'm going to get onto that, and I will bring you guys back shortly. All right, guys, it has been 2 days since that last clip. I had started recording this episode on Friday, and today is now Sunday morning. And unfortunately, I didn't get anything done yesterday. Had some family drama come up. So I knocked this out real quick this morning. And I'm not going to be able to get the entire video, everything done that I wanted to. Unfortunately, I wanted to get all 3 farms done, all 3 buildings done, maybe get started on a kind of village type setting. But that's not going to happen, unfortunately. I'm going to just try and get the barn and the flying machine flower farm part built in today's video, and we'll get the rest of it done later. But I wanted to real quickly show you guys what I mocked up in creative. I started by building the entire thing out of wool. I did red, white, and brown wool. And after I got a size and proportions that I liked, I went and started messing with some different colors and textures and contrasts to try and figure out. I didn't want to make it out of wool. Barns are made out of wood. If anybody that has ever been in a barn before knows, barns are made out of wood. So I wanted to try and actually use wood in the build, and I think I think the stripped acacia and the oak beams is going to be perfect. I think the spruce a little bit too dark. But yeah, we're going to go with that. We're going to go with the stripped acacia and the oak for the beams. I don't know. I don't like the gray acacia here. I didn't really like the brown on the roof either. I like the light gray, but we don't really have a wood that matches that. So I'll probably just go ahead and stick with the light gray for the roof. The light gray wool for the roof. And maybe we'll stick with the white wool for the trim as well. I know it's not wood, like I said, but concrete's too clean. Concrete powder's kind of interesting, but gravity, I can't use it in the trim. So the window panes, I was trying to come up with different ideas, and I kind of like the stripped birch. I do kind of like that. I think that looks pretty good. Whoops. I just kind of flew it here. That's funny. But yeah, I like the stripped birch. Also that you can turn the position of it to have a little bit something different that catches your eye. Same with that there. So I think that this is what we're going to go with for the build on the barn. And we're going to use the stripped acacia. We're going to use wool on the roof. All of this on the inside, I got kind of carried away. I started making like an actual barn with, this one would be one that actually has animals in it. Barns are used for all sorts of different purposes. You store your tractor equipment. I got a hayloft up there. But, yeah. I was thinking like on-off switch and like have the flowers come into here. But I'm not going to be able to put anything in here because we're going to have a flying machine going across. Oh, also, the barn is an even number wide, which is why that's off a block. Don't worry, I'll fix that on the server. I'll make sure it's an odd number wide. But, yeah, this is what we're going to go with for the barn. All of this is going to be gone. There will be a flying machine in here. I'll probably just have the button to tell it to go, or maybe a lever for on-off. I don't know. I'll work that out later. But this is going to be the one for the building for the swamp. I'm not entirely sold on the roof. I tried to do something I've never done before. I think it might be kind of sloped in a little bit too much. Perhaps we should just go to about like right here on the falling in roof. Yeah, that would probably look better. I don't know. We'll work it out. Also, it's just like a straight line right there. So I don't know. I've never built anything like this before, although I do like this shape. That looks pretty good. So we'll just put a shifting floor flower farm in here with a dispenser right there. And yeah. And I haven't got around to that other building yet. So since we're not going to get this all done in one video, I'll worry about that one next week. But I'm going to get on the server. I'm going to go to my tree farm and chop down a whole bunch of acacia. I'm going to chop down some birch. I need to swing by the wool farm and get a bunch of wool. So I got a few things I need to get sorted, and I will bring you guys back, and hopefully maybe we can finish this up with a time lapse building this on the server. So I will bring you guys back in a little while. All right, guys, we are done with the barn. I'm really happy with this. I think this turned out pretty awesome. And I'm really glad we made it out of wood instead of wool, too. When I roughed it out in my creative world, I was just like, a red barn, red wool. But I'm so glad that we didn't do that because I was able to... there's a little bit of variation in the stripped acacia. I also turned a couple of them sideways to get a little bit more texture changes. And I think this turned out pretty awesome. I will... just like so. I think that looks great. I really wish that we had a whiter wood that I could have used and a grayer wood for the roof, but that's okay. I think this turned out just fine. And here's the inside. It looks pretty good. I've got some stripped spruce right there scattered throughout in order to give it a little bit of variation. I think that turned out pretty good. And all I've got left to do in here is lay out the redstone, do the flying machines, and the flower collection. So this is going to be... that should be the easy part. This was, for me, the building of it was the hard part. The actual creative process of coming up with something. I can't decide if I want to make that door a little bit bigger, wider. I kind of do. Yeah, I'm going to make the door wider. Make it 5 wide instead of 3 wide. But I'll do that off camera. But anyway, I also discovered that there is a cave directly underneath where I'm building. I discovered this fact when a creeper blew up this corner of my build. I was not happy, but literally right here, just it's a pretty good looking cave system too. I came down here and lit up a little bit of it, but I might actually do some exploring. I haven't done any caving in a really long time. That might actually be fun to do on camera or live streams, so just a little bit of caving. But oops, I'm stuck. Get me out. There we go. All right, so I've still got left to do the swamp biome house with the blue orchid flowers farm, and then a cute, what did I call it? Rustic home style build over here. Maybe I could do something like I did with the house over by my tree farm, the one that I kind of got inspired from BOO with. Maybe I can do something over here, only a bigger and a little grander. That might be fun. I think that's a good idea. I think I'm gonna do that. But yeah, I'm done with this video for today. My weekend is almost over, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. Hopefully, I'll get some redstone done during the week. If not, I will get to it next weekend when I see you guys in the next one. My name is AngelBiter. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.